Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, or production of Gorcom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. I'm going to start calling this Beyond David Lukacs because he's on and on and on, and that's because he's doing amazing things in the metaverse. Things keep happening literally every week. For those of you who are new to the story, we got David Lukacs on. He's the CEO of Liquid Avatar Technologies, trades in Canada under LQID. For our friends in the US, LQAVS. For those of you who know the story, as far as description goes, here's the genesis of Liquid Avatar. It started off as a global blockchain and personal identity solutions company. So what they did was they started out by empowering people like you and me to manage, control, and even generate money from our biometrically verified online identity. And we know that became a real big problem with the Facebook scandal 3-4 years ago. And that was the genesis of all that. A lot of legislation driving all that. But this has also led to providing businesses and governments with the ability to easily integrate digital wallets and digital identity solutions through the company's Liquid Avatar platform. But it gets even better as the digital universes continue to expand. There's ever increasing need to verify online identity. I mean, it's on a roll now. The Ontario government has released their digital plans and digital identity plans. Google is talking about these things. And what we're seeing right now is the internet evolving from .com read-only to Web 2.0, which was read and engage, to the current Web 3, which I can best describe for older viewers like me and David as entering the Matrix, and for the younger viewers out there as Ready Player One. The technical term is the metaverse. It's already a $30 billion market, but that's only going up. And we know that because look what Facebook just announced. It changed into Meta. That's a Meta. And their line on their website is 3D spaces in the metaverse will let you socialize, learn, collaborate, and play in ways that go beyond what we can imagine. And this feels just like Web 1.0. We didn't imagine what was coming. How big is this market going to be? Bloomberg Intelligence believes the metaverse can reach $800 billion by 2024. That's just 2.5 years, 3 years away, however you want to measure that. Roundhill, South Korea's biggest asset manager, Samsung, recently launched a metaverse fund. And Roundhill Investments, a major ETF, said, we believe more virtual platforms will emerge, new virtual platforms will emerge, and they will likely exceed today's leaders. Well, Liquid Avatar's Aftermath Islands metaverse is an example of that, and is off to a screaming success already because we heard that Musk Manor is already sold out. We can see from the tweets from Aftermath Island, sales are going great. And 2 more big press releases here to talk about that came out this week. David, welcome back. I know that's a mouthful, man. There's so much going on with you guys.
And we're only scratching the surface, George. Great to be here.
That is the scary part, that we're only scratching the surface. Before we talk about the news that came out today and a couple of days ago, we got a couple of press releases talked about. What is the status of Aftermath Islands? We keep saying we saw Musk Manor sold out. We keep seeing the account talk about Bitcoin Bay is almost sold out. How well is it going? How much can you tell us about how well it's going?
Well, I can't quote numbers yet, George. I know that everyone would like me to, but we had some very good indicators early on of what success would look like and what we hope success would look like. And I'm comfortable that we've already matched or beaten those. So it's been really good to see that. I mean, we really look at the analytics and the statistics, and we're very happy with the numbers. Average orders are well ahead. Repeat orders are well ahead. So we're seeing some great results. And again, we started off with a very simple test. We wanted to see how it would go in the first week to 10 days. And now, for those that have seen, we have one influencer out there doing some TikToking, and that has just caused an explosion of opportunity for us. We're this week I'm doing an AMA. I believe Friday night I'm doing an AMA on Clubhouse. So there's lots going on, lots of interest. We're getting reach out by a lot of different organizations, and then this week is proof in the pudding that the metaverse isn't just about socializing or content; it's also about commercialization, and we're excited to talk about that.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed. I mean, it's amazing how fast the metaverse industry, the image of metaverse, has really accelerated in the last 2-3 months. And I think Facebook has a lot to do with that. Originally when it started out, it was like a cool place to make some money, NFTs, and yeah, it's just some little plaything. But now it seems like people starting to realize it's taken on real utility. So what I want to know is explain to people how we think the metaverse is actually going to permeate our lives when it comes to the next generation of online activities and commerce.
Well, I'm going to use it from a very simple, and again, you and I are a little bit older than maybe the average user of the internet today, but we remember a day where the Sears Wish book came out every holiday season. You had to look through the Wish book to see what you wanted to buy for the holidays, right? And there was this massive catalog that we go through, and Eaton's had a catalog, and Sears had catalogs, and Simpsons had catalogs, and then it progressed to more complicated catalogs by organizations like Victoria's Secret, which printed different pricing for different regions in the US and Canada. So it was all about, sort of the onset of commerce. Mail order commerce was massive, one of the best. There's been some great books out there. I won't talk about it, one in particular, but talk about mail order business. And the mail order business, when the internet came along, shifted. And in fact, my first business in the internet was all about e-commerce. We eventually created the way that Canadians type in their credit cards, the packet technology that allows credit card information to move along the pipelines and the gateways. And so we went from paper to sort of electronic, and now everything is sort of much more interactive, but still very flat. And you still look at a display, and maybe you can rotate it in 3D, but it's still very flat. Next gen of e-commerce will be completely interactive. People will be standing there in a store with a virtual attendant, actually interacting with them, seeing things in 3D, watching videos, doing all of that. Now, when it comes to certain classifications like, Vegas Island, which we launched this week, and Cannabis Cove, which we're launching in this press release, they require a little more due diligence because we have to ensure that the person is of age. They are in the right jurisdiction. There's lots of rules and regulations. And the reason we were able to tackle these two major opportunities first is because our core is digital identity.
And I want to come back to that because I said in the outset of my intro that the genesis of Liquid Avatar is digital identity, biometrically verified digital identity. So not only, so I'm seeing, as soon as I saw Vegas Island, and then today seeing Cannabis Cove, I realized, okay, those are two elements that absolutely have to by law, otherwise everyone goes to jail, right? And I started thinking to myself, there aren't too many people who have that advantage. I mean, you can go get off-the-shelf KYC software and things like that, I guess, but it would be very sloppy and very tricky, and I wouldn't want to build a business on that. So how has Liquid Avatar's digital identity expertise contributed to your success now in the metaverse through Vegas Island, Cannabis Cove, and whatever else might be?
Well, what we're seeing is remarkable. We're seeing that the players in the metaverse, other organizations that we're talking to, are saying this is a brand new start. We have an ability to start from zero. And if we're going to start from zero and start literally over, why won't we start with digital identity at the beginning? So that we don't have these bots and these fakes and these hacks and all these problems and people stealing NFTs and pretending to be someone else and scamming and phishing. And so if we can start off with everybody on a level playing field, that everybody is identified going in, and I can be assured that the person I'm interacting with is a real person and they meet the criteria I need them to meet to interact, so that adults without permission aren't engaging with children under a certain age. Like, there's got to be all these fixed rules. But if we start with digital identity at its core, at the nucleus, and then we think about avatars around that nucleus, and then the next layer we think about the metaverse. So we go back to that early description that I gave many months ago about Liquid Avatar. It is that pill in the center with the candy coating, the chocolate and the candy coating around it. So that makes it taste good. So digital identity is at the forefront of where the metaverse has to be. Even Facebook,
without it, it just doesn't work, right? Or it's really sloppy, or you run into all sorts of problems, and then the whole thing collapses.
And our technology is built to deal with that. We're already doing online authentication. So you could scan a QR code, which starts a transaction online, a web code, and that would let you into the website. So it's the authentication is already there. It verifies that you are you, and it uses biometric, opportunities and other types of multi-factor authentication to ensure that you are you. So we've already done that, and we're already doing age verification with the Ontario Convenience Store Association. So at that level, now we're already proving the model in the real world. We're just taking it back to the digital world. So it really is for us. It's been on our roadmap. This isn't new. It's just the world has woken up around it, and everybody's going, well, where did you guys come from? And we go, well, hi, we've always been here. We've been always here.
We weren't the flashy part, right? The thing about digital identity is not the flashy part. People see the flashy part of the metaverse. People see the flashy part of Web3. But before the flash has to come the core.
Well, yeah, if you build a building, nobody likes to look at what's underground, but if you don't have what's underground, it's going to slide off and fall over. Talk to the people at Mandalay Bay, right? So it's, so you've got to make sure your foundation is strong. And we started with digital identity as our foundation. And George, and not to brag a little bit, but I think it's only fair. You know me for many years. This isn't the first time we've been way ahead of the curve, and then the curve has caught up, and then we've been sort of the beneficiary of that. And our company has woken up, and our stock has woken up, right? So we believe that this is just the beginning for our stakeholders, and we hope everybody is always. And thanks for the clap. Oh,
you didn't want to brag, so that's a clap for.
But we don't benefit from the company in a massive way if our shareholders don't benefit. So it's always, everybody needs to do their due diligence, but we want to ensure that we're building value for everyone in the eco chain. So a lot of the people are calling me now and going, man, what you said a year ago is coming true. And I'm going, yeah, okay.
Listen, and I will also say that 2 years ago, when you and I first started talking, we met at a cafe in the Greater Toronto area. We won't give away our locations. I said, David, I get it, I see it, but man, this is so far away. I think you're too far ahead of the curve. I actually had.
You said 3 to 5 years.
I said this is 3 to 5 years away. I had really difficult. So I remember talking to you and saying, man, it's going to be difficult to get shareholder attention out there because it's something so far in advance. And man, was I gladly wrong and glad you were right.
Well, we're still at the early days. I mean, there's still so much growth potential, right?
Oh, no, of course. But it's already here. That's the most important.
Right. But when you think about the metaverse isn't going to be a VR, virtual reality experience day one. It's going to go from effectively a first-person shooter or first-person experience, we call it an FPS,
sure,
first-person shooter experience, to an AR, augmented reality, web-enhanced version to virtual reality. Now, that may skip cycles and generations. I mean, Apple just sort of announced in the last couple of weeks that their new file format USD is going to support virtual reality and some of the opportunities. Unreal Engine 5 is already being laid down as the standard, and we've already produced a couple videos as concept videos on our YouTube channel for Aftermath Island to show some UE5 examples. But it's still early days. There's going to be a lot of maneuvering. But what we're doing is we're putting stakes in the ground. We're also doing something very unique. By doing islands and Aftermath Islands, we basically put water or a fence, a walled garden around each island so that we can take it through experiences one at a time, not an entire playing surface all at once. So we can test different islands for different opportunities for web AR or VR, and we can isolate those opportunities. So this is planned. This is very, very well planned, we hope. And the other thing too is we've created 3 different types of islands. We've created thematic islands like Dynarora Alley or Camelot Key or Cyber City or Cyber Island. I'm sorry. And then we've created, and those are all thematic. They'll have a very playable surface that is very, very cool and unique to that theme. Then we have communities, and we're already talking to educational institutes about the opportunity of coming into some of our communities so we can do learning. So that's more like a Sims or Second Life experience. And then we have the big kahunas. We have the estates, which where they themselves will have restricted access to only allow those players that have estates to invite people in. So they can hold private parties and events and all kinds of cool stuff. Then we go to a commercial opportunities like Vegas Island or Cannabis Cove, and then we can be fully commercial. And,
and let's talk about that. How are you going to commercialize there? What's the strategy for commercializing?
Well, we've for Vegas Island, we've brought in some of the creators, and especially Howard Lefkowitz originally from the CEO of Vegas.com, who built it from I think a $360,000 business.
Yeah, I got here from 360,000 annual sales to over 400 million annually over a 10-year period. Holy moly!
Right. So we're bringing in Howard's working with us on a number of fronts, and is now a strategic consultant to the firm, and Liquid Avatar Technologies in our operations. And Howard saw this opportunity and wanted to be on board right away. So
well,
we're going to be.
He was ahead of it on Vegas.com. Now we probably laugh at a URL like Vegas.com, but at the time, that was something to create that, to get that domain and then build an entire e-commerce business out of that, which is unbelievable. So yeah, great. And on Cannabis Cove, I really like this quote from them. The metaverse gives us potentially unprecedented access to technology to be able to educate individuals on the merits of CBD and to create new and exciting ways to engage our audiences and customers. Aftermath Islands and its format is a perfect example of the kind of environment that our team wants to be part of. So there'll be education going on there, but will I be able to go on Cannabis Cove and grow my own, cannabis virtually, which is actually being grown, by the people, by Primo, your customers, your partners there?
Well, that's one of the things that Primo wants to do. They want to have hemp farms. So and again, let's be very, very careful here and talk about the fact that there will be age restrictions, there'll be jurisdictional restrictions, educational opportunities. But in certain games, I can grow carrots. World of Warcraft, I in Pandera, I can grow carrots. Why can't I grow hemp? So it just, what do I do with it next?
Will it be virtual hemp, or will it also be
I
hemp
can't
on a farm somewhere?
I can't comment on that. Yeah, I can't comment on that yet because that's beyond my pay grade in this respect, because I'm not the grower. That'll be their legal issues.
All right. Okay. Got it. You're just giving them the platform to do what they want.
Well, we can facilitate the ability and technology to integrate through a supply chain management system. So, but think about the opportunities. We can do sports zones for professional sports teams. We can do and all the accoutrements that go with that. We can go back to the idea of having digital sneakers and digital and real sneakers at the same time. There's so many opportunities for commerce. There's we're looking at the DeFi industry and what we can do there. For investor awareness, there's huge opportunities within the metaverse for companies to do interactive presentations, not just sort of flat video. We can do interactive, multifaceted, and I designed technology to do that many years ago, and it was piloted with the launch of Steph Curry's Under Armour shoe. And this is going back many years ago, and I sort of designed interactive video technology for that was piloted and tested by other major sports teams.
So at one point, it would be great if we could do something like this within the Aftermath Islands metaverse. And you're kind of hey George, let's start off on Bitcoin Bay. Now let's go over to Musk Manor. Now let's go, and you just kind of showed us around. Right. How long would you get until you think we get to that level of functionality?
We're looking to have the first islands live by mid next year, and there will be some piloting along the way. And then again, what we'll do is we'll have test islands in which we do special events and other things, so we can pilot new technologies. And we're just lining up now. As you know, we've got everything going on with the metaverse. We've got Comic-Con, LA Comic-Con coming up. And that's going to be.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because I'm going to be there. How's that looking, David? What's the buzz around it? We're 2 weeks away from it. What's the buzz around LA Comic-Con? Right
well, now's the time to freak out a little bit, right? It's like, but
it's real. It's real.
Well, we've been getting it real. We've got 1,500 square feet there, which the average booth is maybe 100 square feet. We've got 15 times the average booth. We just finished the designs yesterday on time for the graphics for the whole booth, and we're it's got to be transported there from New York to LA, so fingers crossed. 16-foot tower, 10-foot video screen. I think it's a 36-foot ring, 16 or 20 feet up. It's going to be impressive. We're doing main stage panels. We're doing a whole bunch of panels. We've got celebrities signing in the booth. We've got a scavenger hunt, a digital scavenger hunt, which covers the entire convention center arena with that will have great events that connected to the Star Trek experience and all kinds of other stuff. And then if you complete the scavenger hunt, you get a free plot of land in Aftermath Islands. So anybody who completes it gets a free plot of land. And there'll be all kinds of really great. We've got some super killer promos coming out.
And you did kind of tease us saying there will be surprises. There is
surprises, and many of the surprises will be interactive. So our participants who can't make it to LA Comic Con will be able to get some of the great things that we're doing. Can't get all of them, but you will be. And we've already started that process. We've had one very successful Indiegogo event for Apex Comics Group. There's a second one on it for the Right Project. There's a second one on the way right now for Phaser Universe. It's live, and that includes the debut of Super Liquid Avatar. And there's also a Kickstarter campaign underway right now for the Outer Spacemen, all for comic books.
A Kickstarter campaign. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, yeah,
so much going on. At some point,
I know there's so much going on that integrates the brand.
Next interview we do is we open up your browser, you share it, and we just kind of walk through the different properties. Because you got to remember, even for me, and especially for everybody watching or listening on podcast, it's brand new, and it would really help if we could, show people things as we're talking.
Absolutely, you can go to liquidavatartechnologies.com, join our mailing list, and you get everything. We do a Monday night, we do a Liquid Avatar weekly buzz. And Tuesday nights, everybody gets an Aftermath community email. And so anyone who signs up is getting, and we've got thousands of people getting this weekly and getting all this information. We are trying to create a great community. It is, and our social media is on fire. I mean, I look what you're posting at Agoracom and what all the our affiliates are posting on Aftermath. It's just going exponentially. But what is really super cool is we haven't even diverted for 1 second outside our roots. Everything at the core of our business is still digital identity, but all these other things are going to be the vortex that sucks up digital identity into the metaverse, into avatars, into age verification. So we're starting to see that wind of change coming. And to add to that, is that we moved from a development company into a commercial revenue company on October 1, and we're seeing the fruits of our labor already.
Can't wait to get some numbers, at some point, maybe after Comic-Con, because that's going to be a big, that's going to be a big jumping off point for you guys. But in the meantime, Dave, it's been amazing to watch you guys surpass even what I thought was going to happen, because we already talked about this. And to see the acceleration now is amazing. And for everybody at home, I can't wait to be broadcasting from Comic-Con. I'm going to be there. I mean, it's a massive event. It's a huge coming out party for Liquid Avatar and all the different properties that David just mentioned there. So if you can't be there, I'll be broadcasting. But I'm excited and congratulations on what's happened. And I guess we're going to have you back. I don't know. We're going to have you back in next week, or you're going to give us a break because it's U.S. Thanksgiving showing up.
There are some more surprises coming before Comic-Con, and hopefully we'll see what we can do. But I'm hoping the Comic-Con starts on December 3rd on Friday, and I know you and I will be down there a little bit early, and I'm hoping to be able to give you a walk of the show as it's being built.
Oh, we'll do a walk and talk. We've already had great success with those. Have the camera going for a walk and talk.
People will be able to. Hopefully, they'll let us. With a digital innovation partner, hopefully they'll let us, do a walkthrough and show what's going on prior. Because if someone's never gone to Comic-Con, it is an amazing experience. And I heard yesterday that their numbers are their expectations of the numbers are almost the same as they were in 2019. So we're talking potentially well over 100 to 120,000 people showing up over 3 days. It as you would say, it's going to be diabolical.
It's going to be diabolical. Can't wait, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And probably see you next week. But if I see you next week, it'll be from Daytona Beach. I'll be doing a video with you from there. If you're back on, but I got a feeling you will be. Thanks, David.
Thank you, George. Great to be here.
To everybody who's been watching or listened by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform, you've just watched and seen David Lukacs, CEO of Liquid Avatar Technologies, trades in Canada under LQID. For our friends in the US, LQABF. Guys, I don't even think I need to convince you about why you should be doing your due diligence. I can't tell you anything more to go do it, but the metaverse is here. Digital identity is here. And Liquid Avatar has been at the tip of the spear in the small cap industry, way ahead of everybody on these things. So go do your due diligence, get to Agoracom, take a look at the profile page, and then from there, head over to the company's website by linking over. But for those of you who are listening by podcast, liquidavatartechnologies.com. Get there, do your due diligence. If you believe in the future of the metaverse, don't say I didn't tell you so 12 months from now. Have a great day. See you next time.
Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.